away when we're sleeping, but we leave it, but we don't get the awareness and the consciousness that we are going through those steps. Also in life, because when we're aging, we start feeling heavy, then we are not as we cannot run like 40 kilometers, we are stiff, then our temperature changes, and finally the mind is when we start forgetting things and that. So it would be those steps. But the Eagle Warriors and Jaguar Warriors did it like a healing, for example, because it's like reawakening the power of the blood to take it to certain organs to digest. For example, in the liver, the anger, in the kidneys, the fear, in the stomach, the trauma, but mainly to the heart, because for the ancient ones, the tonal or the consciousness that our mind is the energy that is surrounding our head when we are awake. And the Nahual, the one that we are sleeping and the one that we are going to be dead, is in the navel. So when we fall asleep, for the tradition, they change positions. And then the Nahual is in your head, and that's why we enter in other reality, and the tonal is in our intestines. So the main purpose of this is like in the heart to join them, so that you don't lose the mind when you are sleeping, and you are able to enter in those times they didn't have like the measures for brain waves, but to enter in these states of being sleeping but completely conscious.
So when you say that you don't lose the mind, so that's meaning that you stay conscious, and we usually call that lucidity. So you're becoming lucid. What do you do once you're lucid in terms of seeding things for the future, like you were doing with your best-selling author or going to England?
Yeah, of course, before doing all these techniques, you must have a little bit of the vocabulary of the dream. That, for example, going to England could be is not exactly literal, but what I remember is in the dream that I saw like the Britain in a map, and I started making it grow. What grows in a dream becomes part of your reality. For example, if it shrinks, you are minimizing certain things. So you have like a codex for being a best-selling author. I remember that I saw like these wooden like worlds that that were in the past, and that I was looking them with the cover of the book, The Toltec Secret, and things like that, because it's like constructing the reality that will impact your Nahual or your unconsciousness.
So I like to, so you're growing or shrinking things. Do you just kind of also create things out of thin air, like the construct you were saying for your best-selling book? So you'll kind of say, I want to see this, and then you're growing it. And so you want to have a visual representation of that which you're wanting to create, it sounds like.
Yeah, there are many ways. For example, raining is purifying, burning is destroying. You can put different colors in the winds. For example, if you send in that moment, like a blue wind is to destroy problems, green wind to heal emotions, red wind to purify. So there is a language in the dream world. For example, almost no one knows that when you're dreaming, if someone you really like someone, or you feel probably a little bit afraid of someone, you will see that person taller. So, for example, in dreaming, it's good to grow and to see you taller of the people that that it could be bullying you, or that you are not with a very high self-esteem. So there are many codexes in which you could make the dream create like that command to the unconsciousness that then will go to your waking life.
Mm. So the idea is that in the dream, you're more able to send messages into your unconsciousness because of this reversal, right? So you're wanting to create the picture, and then once you plant that seed, does it just manifest on its own, or are you then trying to like work on it in the outer world as much, or is it more just like plant the seed?
Of course, you are working with that, because working in dreams, most of the people lose their consciousness there. Most of the people is lost totally in a blackout. So you are doing a great effort to be there, to be in the situation, to analyze, because dreaming is about details. It's like seeing, oh, it's raining. Probably this is being purified. This is the dominant color. That means something. And to change it in order to get a result.
It makes sense. I know you also teach some, I don't know if it's the same teaching around the dual energy system, the two different energy systems, and how that relates to Toltec dreaming as well. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. The Totonalcayos is the Nahuatl name for like chakras that actually mean heat spots, that are like the spots that we use when we are awake. That actually is, one is named Scorpion, that is in the coccyx, that holds the ancestral patterns. The other, Iwitl, the feather, is in the sexual area, that is where you are creating. The other in the navel, that is the information that you get from the stars, your astrology, that will give you certain characteristics. And all of them, for example, the one in the forehead is Chalchihuitl, that is the jade, where the motions are, the waters. Those are like the seven that we use when we are awake. But there is a system that they are named Nahualcayos, that they are, these ones are mainly fed by the sun, but the other ones are by the moon and by different stars, mainly the Pleiades and the Orion belt, that you can start switching on in order to have an energetic system to enter in the world of the dreams that will make your life easier there, and that will give you many tools in order to create things, to heal, or to manifest in the dream world.
Great. Well, that's super illuminating. I think it'd be great. I know you're going to guide us in a practice, just take some of these concepts and make them alive for us. So do you want to take some time now and set that up and then guide us in a practice?
Of course, it will be a pleasure. The practice that I'm doing will be like the Blood Serpent. That consists, first, I will be doing like a small healing to digest the anger in certain organs so that everyone will have a benefit. But then we will go to the heart, and just visualizing that your blood in the shape of a serpent. Why the serpent? It's not about the animal. Of course, is the serpent, but it's about the energy that moves in serpent. So if we visualize the energy going to the heart, and it's slow your heart more, trying to go and to be aware of the 4 steps that we cross every night to fall asleep. That starts with the dissolution of the element earth, that is that we are feeling heavier. Then it will be that the dissolution of the element water, that will be that we are stiff, that we are entering in a very, in the dream paralysis, that of course in the exercise is not a very deep one. Then a change of temperature, and finally enter in the in the frequency that will take you to dreams that, for example, could be to the gamma dream when you are in the second half of the night or in siestas, or to the delta dream in the first part of the night. But it's like I think is the key to the mastery to really be able to be present in all the moments of your dreams. So let's guide it. In the first times, it's good to do it sitting, because if you are lying down and with your pillow, it's very easy to fall asleep, really. But let's do it sitting and try to feel the changes in your body. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And when you breathe out, take out all the heavy energy. Take other deep breath. And when you breathe out, tune with the energy of time and space now. You are here to experience one of the sacred techniques of the eagle and jaguar warriors, Yezcoatl, the Blood Serpent. So think that your blood comes from the stars, and that you have there all the knowledge of the universe. And visualize your blood like a serpent, just putting a face, the face of a serpent, that is going all through your veins, healing, rejuvenating. Breathe in, breathe out. Serpent is the ancestral symbol of healing. And command the reawakening of the sacred power of your blood to heal and to sail through different perceptual states, and take the sacred power of your blood like a serpent to your liver and digest the anger. Go to your liver, try, if it's possible, to move that area and digest the anger, the rage. Breathe in, breathe out. Release. Make your blood your medicine. Now, take the sacred power of your blood to your stomach and digest any trauma, anything in your life that you couldn't digest it. Do it now. Move the area to really move the spine and to reach the nerves, the digestive nerves in your back, digesting the traumas, the heavy energy that you have been carrying for any reason. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, split your blood into serpents and take them to your lungs and digest, release the sadness. Travel with your blood. Release the lead, the sadness, the heaviness. Breathe in. Breathe out. Releasing the sadness you were carrying. Take the sacred power of your blood to your kidneys and release the fear, any fear. The fear to meet your unconsciousness, your dreams. Take the sacred power of your blood to your legs and release the energy of the inertia of doing the same things, of walking through the night without consciousness. Of repeating the same version of you. Take the sacred power of your blood to your arms and digest, release the laziness to become a dreamer. Release the consequences of heavy things you have done and the weight you have been carrying. And now, take the sacred power of your blood to your heart. And just with your intent, command to slow down your frequency. Slow your heart more, more, more. Slow your metabolism. Slow all the cycles of your body. You are learning how to fall asleep without losing consciousness. The solution of the element earth. 1. Visualize the serpent again there and slow it more, more. You are starting to feel and ask for the dissolution of the element water. Slow your heart. More, more, more. And you are slightly starting to feel stiff. Probably in the fingers. 2. Slow the heart. More, more, more. More. The solution of the element fire. Ask your temperature to drop like it happens in the night. Or to change. Dissolution or change of the element fire. Slow the heart. More. More. And now, the dream paralysis intensifies. Dissolution of the wind, of the air, of the individual mind to enter in the collective mind, in the unconscious mind. Slow the heart more, more, more. Your breath is very soft and enters just to the top of your lungs. And you start creating that classical sound when you are sleeping. Slow it more, more. And dissolve your mind. Stay there for a while and release the tension in your eyes to see if them start to move. That would be rapid eye movement. If they don't move, don't force them. But if they do, start dreaming of yourself in any situation. And now, grow, grow, grow in the dream with the purpose of becoming a dreamer. Now, stop the movement of the eyes. To cut that small cycle of dreaming. And prepare to come back. Breathe deep. Start feeling your body. Slowly break the dream paralysis. Stretch. And go back slowly, slowly to the tonal, to this reality.
Hmm.
One, two, three, four. Come back.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you. It's a
Welcome.
very deep journey for a call like this. Do you want to share how doing it consciously like this from a waking state is different than doing a similar practice in the dream?
Uh, of course, this is a way to induce entering in dreams and then create the things that you would like to manifest or heal areas, but also the same like scripts could be done if you wake up directly in the dreams, because normally we do these practices because we have like 8 cycles of dreaming every night. So after this one, we would go again to the heart and then slow it again and again. And then every time that you're doing it, you are feeling deeper and deeper. For example, if you are in the fifth time, sometimes you're not even like moving like the action. Certain things happen like in dreams that you're not controlling. So it's a fascinating way of knowing you and exploring parts of ourselves.
I'd like to ask about another area that we said we would cover today, which is breaking the illusion of limitation and how Toltec dreaming practices can be part of that.
Ah, yeah, of course. Limitation, even in the body. For example, the first part of the dream, that is the delta dream, if no one, apparently for science, nothing is happening there. But if we start like trying to be lucid there, then you will see in that veil of lights sometimes an eye, and then it's the eye that is dreaming you, and then you can say, dream me younger, or certain shapes and that. Then you are creating an intent to overcome, for example, ancestral limitations. Then in lucidity, for example, if we fly, we are breaking like the impossible information that we cannot fly, and when we're awake, or if we cross walls, or if we do any kind of things that are not possible in the waking state, then you're making your brain more friendly actually with you to accept changes in your life. That could be like, I cannot be a doctor, I cannot graduate at this age, I cannot color naturally the gray hair, and to start making impossibles reality.
Right. Well, that's really great. Do you want to give any other examples of how you've applied this in your life and then it shifted and opened something that otherwise seemed impossible?
Oof, I have so many. For example, my mother had like a cancer, and she was supposed to die. And that was the diagnosis. And I was really angry. And I said, the gods, if I had been able to heal so many people that I don't know, or I know superficially, and I cannot heal the one that I love, I quit. And that night, I started hearing, because it was not a dream with images. It was just like the voice, like Nephthys, Isis got the pieces and Nephthys didn't. Isis got the pieces and Nephthys didn't. And like that, and it kept the volume increasing. And suddenly I woke up in the dream, and I said, what does this mean? And then I remember that when I was in Egypt, I asked the Egyptologist, about the story of Isis and Osiris, Nephthys and Isis. Why, if the one that really gave life to Osiris was Nephthys, she didn't even have a temple, and the one that got all the attention was Isis. And I remember that he said, like, because there is this rumor that Nephthys is like the shadow. So I said, okay, the shadows should be very important. And then the next week, one of my friends of the tradition, the Mexican tradition, told me about how to witchcraft people with the shadow or how to heal them with the shadow. So I started doing the therapies to my mother in the shadow, and she's alive. And it has been like 5 years from now. And like all others, for example, this was in Italy. One of my students, she went because she was losing the possibility of seeing. She had lost one eye because the nerve was dead, and the other, I don't remember the problem. But she planted like the dream, and it was like a red dream, like the ones that we will see in the workshop. And the dream was fascinating because, you know, in Italy they are very Catholics. And she entered in like in the cloth of the Madonna of the Virgin, and but she woke up because not woke up physically, but in the dream, because she said, "Oh no, the Madonna has like the cloth blue, but this one is red." And she said, red dream, healing. I want to see again." And in the morning, she could see of the eye that the optic nerve was dead, and the other one never healed. And she asked me, "But why the one that was impossible healed and the other didn't?" I said, "I don't know." Those are like the mysteries of the Nahual. So many things, so many stories that are fascinating and that make also dreaming very, very, very fun.
Really cool stories. Maybe the last thing you've kind of covered it, but I want to just really highlight a little bit more about these four sacred states of perception and how they kind of work together.
Okay, for the like I told you in the beginning, for the Toltecs, everything is in the base four, like the four phases of the moon and that. So the four states are, the main two are like tonal nahual, that is the one that you are awake, and the one that you are asleep, that they have the power of controlling the reality. But they have other ones that are like a kind of mixture between them. One is awake but dreaming. That would be when we are thinking about other things, when we are not present in the moment. That one is considered the one that is less powerful for creating. Then is also sleeping but without consciousness. That is powerful to create, but you don't have control of what you are creating. Then waking up in your dreams is the most powerful, and the other one is to be present when you are awake. So those are like the four main ones. But for the ancient ones, that's why dreaming was so sacred. Dreaming with consciousness is the most powerful for creating.
Well, thank you for that overview. There's been so much in this hour that we've already had, and I know there's a lot more from this powerful tradition. And I know it's really an important tradition for this time of the sixth sun or the larger shift. There's different ways we think about it, but there is a collective shifting into another level of expression of ourselves. So we're very excited that Sergio has agreed to teach a brand new program for Shift. It's called Ancient Toltec Dream Practices, Dreaming in the Time of the Sixth Sun to heal deeply, expand your consciousness, and actively reshape your waking life. You can find it at the URL toltecdreamingcourse.com, toltecdreamingcourse.com. It's a 7-week program. There's no prerequisites. It's really just if you feel intuitively drawn to explore further. So Sergio, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your intentions for what people will come away with, and we can go through the modules and give a preview of what's coming.
I am really happy because actually the sixth sun started in 2021. So the last workshop, the last course that I taught with the Shift Network and in life, actually. It was like, yeah, around that time. So it's the first time that I am teaching what my teachers told me that were like the new lessons for these times. That is a much more feminine way of dreaming, with deities, because the last time we were teaching about animals like archetypes, and with the possibility of going further, dreaming in paradise, a complete map of the world of the dreams. Like, for example, there is a place that is named in Nahuatl Chicagua Mictlacayan. That is the place where you recover all the strength or the force that you lost in your life. And that is magical to enter there. Mahtoco en Manascan, a place that is like new soil to plant new things. So amazing things that I knew that they existed, but in the tradition it was said, don't teach that in those times because it won't work. It's not their time yet. So I have been practicing for myself, and now it's time to share it. So I'm really, really happy.
That's great. So module 1 is called Time Walkers and Dream Weavers, reclaiming your dream time as a space of healing, vision, and spiritual mastery.
Yes,
Share a little bit more about that.
of course. These times look like chaos for many people. For me, of course, if I see the television and that, it's totally chaos. But I understand, because in the center of the calendar it says that when it's the transition between a sun to the next one, there is a huge fight between the old order with the new one. So that's why things are getting like very dualistic into that way. So it's a way of understanding that, and also seeing that you have power to dream your life and to dream the world you would like to live in. And of course, is knowing what we talked about before, the two energy systems. That is an amazing thing to be able like to switch off your personality when you are going to fall asleep, and that has a purpose, because if you switch off your personality, then you won't be dreaming the same things that you always dream, and then your life will change, and to start switching on the one of dreams to have the opportunity to be in your dreams and in your life someone new.
Module 2, Lucid Thresholds, engaging with your sleep cycles and the dream body to activate your path to conscious dreaming.
That's amazing, because normally in the traditions you have to be there years and years and years to get like the teachings of the delta sleep. That is the first part of the night where apparently for science is not happening anything, not in dreams. It is when your hair repairs, your body grows, and that. But is the jewel for many traditions. Actually, when I started teaching this, because I was touring around the world, and many of my other teachers from other traditions, they told me, "Are you authorized to teach this?" I said, "By whom? Like my mother or what?" Because like the Toltec tradition, it was destroyed by, kind of destroyed by the conquest. So it's not the structure. So from the pieces that you get, if you are able and if you practice, you can teach. So it's to teach how to start like seeing, like I told you, like the eye and the different animal faces and your reflection, in order to not to be similar like your ancestors, aging and having their same problems.
Module 3, Delta Dreaming, reclaiming the creator within to release ancestral patterns and reprogram your physical and energetic bodies.
That is like the second part of the other model, because in the second one we will be seeing like the Blood Serpent, and we will start like the knowledge of micro awakenings and that. But here we will go deeper in order to heal the ancestral patterns. For example, if your family comes cancer or alcoholism or whatever, to overcome that in the deep sleep part.
Module 4, the map of lucidity, mastering the sacred geography of the Toltecs to support your healing, creation, and recovery of your lost parts.
We will be seeing like these kind of rooms, like the one that I told you, like in the one that you get all the strength, the power that you lost in your life, the place where teachers that you haven't met in the physical space will teach you certain things, the place to plant new things, the place where you can help people that pass away of your family or visit ancestors. And we will be sailing all through that map in the world of the dreams.
Module 5, divine dreaming, activating the sacred powers of the Nawal to heal trauma, increase manifestation, and transform your life.
I love this one because it's very similar to dream yoga, in which many of the practitioners, they transform themselves in the Buddha of compassion and that. Here we will transform into the Mexican deities, like, for example, Malinali, the lady of magic, to not only the dream to manifest things, or Chalchi, the lady of the flat waters, that is the precious of the jade, to heal emotions, or Tlaloc, the lord of rain, to purify or to make grow things. Quetzalcoatl, the precious knowledge, is to really embody, or with Huitzilopochtli, the one of willpower, to start gaining their powers in our dreams and in our waking state.
Module 6, the pyramid and the octagon, reshaping painful limiting dreams into actionable visions of power and purpose.
We will go back to the Delta Dream because once you have practiced, then many of the group, I think like at 80% or more, 100%, will be able to see like these cubes that is very similar. When I started seeing that, like the Tetris game, in which cubes are falling down in the first, in those lights that are creating things. That actually has to be with the mathematic of Euclides of Alexandria, that is very similar to pi, the one of the pi, and to start like creating these cubes in order to manifest, creating cities, or even being able to enter into the luminescent worlds where the gods live.
Fantastic. And then finally, module 7 is called The Dreamer Awakened, creating dream dharma of a peaceful and powerful future for yourself and the world.
Yes, because will be the dream pyramid. That is many of the pyramids, for example, the one of Chichen Itza that is very famous in Mexico. Now it has 10 levels because they built a lower level so that people could climb, but they were of 9. The first level is the one of dreams without consciousness, so everyone could be there. Then the second is lucidity in dreams. The third one is like of the ones that are named Pipiltin and Yeyeli, that are energetic beings that some of them feed of fear and anger and the others of love and that. So how to take the bad guys from your dream and to call the good ones. Then the other one is to reshape your body, that will be similar to the Delta Dream. But in one part, it will be like to start dreaming with gems, and that is like a dreaming dharma to create new your life and new universes.
Well, what an amazing course. And it's just such a great opportunity in this time of so much transition and flux and chaos in the outer world to be able to reshape our world through more effective dreaming practices and our lives. So again, it's all at toltecdreamingcourse.com, toltecdreamingcourse.com. So if you choose to move forward, you'll get not only the 7 90-minute live sessions that Sergio just described, which is also time to ask your questions live and engage in interactive practices. You also get recordings of every session, both video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts to work with, study, and highlight. There's weekly practices for home. There's a Facebook community to support you and create a sense of community around the world with this work, and a small group time to connect with other participants. And on the page, you'll also see a number of extra bonuses, each of which has been designed by Sergio to enhance the core curriculum. There are audio practices guided by Sergio called the Pyramid of Dreams. You want to share a little bit about those audio practices?
Yeah. Some of the practices I guided there so that people can have like a guide, because then the main purpose is that you guide yourself in the dream world.
Great. So that's just one extra bonus. And then there's another called Sowing Dreams, is a guided audio journey. Sergio, you want to share a bit about that bonus?
Yes, it's like the practice of switching off the tonalcayos, the ones of personality, and switching the ones of the moon and the stars, and to create the basic needs that are health, abundance, enlightenment, and good relations.
Well, those are two bonuses, and there's one special bonus you get if you sign up by midnight tonight Pacific time. This is a video teaching from Michelle Rodriguez and Jade Frazier called Toltec Keen, Tesca Azul and Tesca Red. You want to share a little bit about that special bonus folks get today?
Yes, this is like other of the treasures of Mexico, because many of the statues and that are there are like kind of yoga. I don't want to name it yoga, but postures. For example, the Chacmol, that is the one that is in the top of the pyramid, is like this, and that would be like a posture like. So there are like two different, one to develop willpower and the other for healing, that I am doing with two great friends, the actress Michelle Rodriguez from Fast and Furious and other of the soap operas. So I hope that you enjoy it.
That's amazing. So really accessing that bonus, I think, is going to be a really sweet extra reason to sign up right away today. Toltec Keen, Tesca Azul, and Tesca Red. So it's going to be a really extraordinary program. We've kept the investment very accessible. It's just 3 payments of $128, or save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start June 30th and run Mondays at 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings and the transcript and the community as well. There's some beautiful testimonials from graduates of Sergio's previous course at Shift Network. And so you're in really good hands. You're going to get a very authentic wisdom transmission that passed on from his teacher that he developed all these practices with. So you're going to be really receiving some very ancient and leading edge teachings and be able to apply those in a community of support. So it's a really beautiful opportunity. So again, it's all at ToltecDreamingCourse.com, ToltecDreamingCourse.com, and you get that special bonus of the Toltec Keen when you sign up by midnight tonight. So Sergio, it's been a delight to be with you. Anything that's still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering doing the full course with you?
Thank you for the opportunity. And I think that nowadays that many people feel like not very empowered to realize that we can do things, we can dream our life, we can dream a better world, and to take part, not to be spectators of everything that is happening, and to give you the opportunity also to live a complete life, because we are splitted awake and dreaming, and to make those two parts of you one, to create a beautiful one.
Well, it's a beautiful intention. And thank you, Sergio, for sharing your wisdom and heart. And thank you all for joining. And if you'd like to go further into this beautiful tradition, you can do so at ToltecDreamingCourse.com, ToltecDreamingCourse.com, and you'll get that special bonus when you sign up by midnight tonight, which is called Toltec Keen, Tesca Azul and Tesca Red, which is a video teaching from Michelle Rodriguez and Jade Frazier. So thank you so much, Sergio. Thank you all for joining. Many blessings.
Thank you.